The Vanishing of U.S. Secretary of State Eleanor Bishop. Introduction. A secret too dangerous to keep. What if everything you knew about the world was a lie? That's the question Eleanor Bishop, the U.S. Secretary of State, had been grappling with in the days before her mysterious disappearance. She wasn't just the face of American diplomacy. She was a master of strategy, a woman who controlled the most sensitive negotiations between world powers. Trusted by presidents, feared by adversaries, and admired by allies, Eleanor had achieved what few others could. She had become a force in the highest levels of global politics. But there was something the public didn't know, something only a handful of people were aware of, a dangerous secret, a secret that, if revealed, could destroy the very fabric of modern geopolitics. And Eleanor Bishop had come dangerously close to exposing it. Then, one late evening, in March of 2026, she vanished. No warning, no sign of a struggle, no clues. Her last known communication was a cryptic phone call to her closest ally, Adrian Cole, a former CIA officer turned diplomat, saying only, "I found it. You have to trust me. It's bigger than we thought. They're watching." Then silence. The following morning, her office was empty. No one knew where she had gone. Her security team found nothing suspicious. No tracks, no trace of a kidnapping, no ransom demands. It was as though she had simply disappeared into thin air. But as the investigation into her sudden disappearance deepened, it became clear that this wasn't just a case of vanishing. Something much darker was at play. Eleanor Bishop had uncovered a conspiracy so massive, so entrenched in the world's power systems, that it had the potential to reshape global history. And now she was gone. As the world reacted to the disappearance of one of its most powerful women, Adrian Cole couldn't shake the feeling that he was missing something. The U.S. government launched an extensive search operation, pulling in resources from the FBI, CIA, and military intelligence. But it was as if Bishop had vanished from the face of the earth. There were no calls made, no traceable movements, no signs of distress. Adrian knew something wasn't right. His instinct told him that Eleanor had chosen to disappear. And he had a sinking feeling it was to protect something, or someone. His fears were confirmed when he was contacted by Bishop's assistant, Emma Powell, who had been working alongside Eleanor for years. She had received an encrypted message, which had been sent from Eleanor's private communication channel hours before her disappearance. The message contained only a set of coordinates and a single line of text. "If anything happens to me, you must find the vault beneath Washington. It holds the truth." The cryptic nature of the message left Adrian with more questions than answers. But one thing was clear. Eleanor had uncovered something that could have turned the world's power structure upside down, and she was now paying the price for it. Adrian couldn't ignore the urgency of the message. The coordinates led him to an underground facility beneath the National Archives, an area that had long been forgotten by most government officials. After hours of navigating old tunnels and bypassing security measures, Adrian found himself standing before a steel vault door, ancient and ominous. The vault had been sealed for decades. No one was meant to know it existed. With bated breath, Adrian broke the seal. Inside the vault, he discovered an overwhelming amount of top-secret documents, blueprints, government memos, intelligence reports, and historical records detailing a global network of influence that spanned governments, corporations, and the world's most powerful elites. But the most shocking discovery was the involvement of Eleanor Bishop herself. There were letters, plans, and encrypted messages, all pointing to Project Helix, a covert operation that had been in motion for over 30 years. It was a plan to control global markets, military power, and even the flow of information on a scale that no one could have imagined. The people behind Project Helix were untouchable. They operated in the shadows, manipulating everything from elections to wars. And Eleanor Bishop had come too close to exposing their existence. As Adrian delved deeper into the documents, he learned of a shadow government that controlled world events from behind the scenes. This secretive group, known as the Helix Consortium, consisted of the world's most powerful individuals, politicians, corporate tycoons, and military leaders who had long been manipulating global crises for profit and power. But what Adrian discovered next was far more sinister. Eleanor Bishop had been on the verge of revealing their existence. She had uncovered connections between the Helix Consortium and the very people who controlled military operations, global trade, and even intelligence agencies. Adrian's heart sank as he read the final encrypted message left by Eleanor Bishop herself. They are not just watching us, they control everything. They own the world's most dangerous secrets. If I reveal what I've found, it's not just my life at risk. It's everyone's. But if I stay silent, we all lose. The letter made it clear. Eleanor had chosen to disappear because revealing the truth could lead to global catastrophe. But there was a deeper, more personal reason. Eleanor had uncovered a dark truth about her own involvement in Project Helix, something she never expected to find. Adrian read further. I was once part of their game. I thought I was protecting the world. But now, I realize I've been part of the machine. My disappearance is the only way to stop it. Please, Adrian, don't let them win. The shocking revelation rocked Adrian to his core. Eleanor Bishop wasn't just a victim. She had been a player in the game all along. And now she had to disappear to stop the machine from moving forward. Adrian's sense of urgency grew as he pieced together the network surrounding the Helix Consortium. The documents showed a detailed global influence map with connections between world governments, multinational corporations, military contractors, and intelligence agencies. The Helix Consortium had managed to infiltrate every corner of power. But as Adrian's investigation progressed, he began to feel the weight of being watched. Surveillance seemed to follow him everywhere. His emails were hacked. His phone was tapped. Even his safe house was compromised. Adrian knew that someone within the highest levels of government, was watching his every move. And, just as Adrian thought he was getting closer to uncovering the truth, he received an anonymous warning. Stop digging. You don't know what you're up against. The consortium is everywhere. If you keep going, you'll disappear just like she did. Adrian had no choice. He had to find Eleanor, and he had to expose Project Helix before the truth was buried forever. The stakes were too high, and the world needed to know what was truly happening behind closed doors. In a risky move, Adrian decided to reach out to David Moretti, the billionaire financier who had been listed in the documents as a key figure in Project Helix. Moretti was said to have close ties to the U.S. government, particularly in defense contracts. If anyone could help Adrian get to the heart of the conspiracy, it was him. They met in secret, in a private room at a hotel in Washington. Moretti was calm, composed, his usual air of confidence never wavering. But when Adrian confronted him with the evidence, Moretti's demeanor shifted. He wasn't angry or defensive. Instead, he smiled, a cold, chilling smile. You still don't get it, do you? Moretti said. You think you're trying to expose the Helix Consortium, but you're just a pawn in their game, Adrian. We're not the ones controlling things. The real power is already beyond us, beyond you, beyond Eleanor. Adrian's confusion turned to disbelief. What do you mean? What's beyond you? The great game has been played for centuries, Adrian. It's not just about money or politics. It's about something far bigger. The control of information, the manipulation of human behavior, and the altering of perception itself. Eleanor knew too much. And that's why she had to vanish. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Adrian realized the terrifying truth. The Helix Consortium wasn't just manipulating world events. It was orchestrating the very reality in which people lived. And Eleanor, once one of their most trusted agents, had become a threat because she was starting to see the strings being pulled. Adrian knew his time was running out. The more he dug, the more dangerous the game became. He was being watched. Every move he made was tracked. But he was determined to find Eleanor and expose the truth. One night, he received a message from an unknown source, directing him to a private jet at an airport on the outskirts of Washington. The message contained only 2 words: "She's waiting." Adrian rushed to the airport, his heart pounding. When he boarded the jet, he was greeted by a familiar face, Eleanor Bishop. She was alive, but she was no longer the woman he had once known. She was colder, distant, and her eyes held a deep, haunted look. "You shouldn't have come," she said softly. "They'll find us. They'll come for both of us." Adrian was overwhelmed with questions. "Why did you disappear? Why didn't you tell me the truth?" Eleanor sighed. "Because it was never about us, Adrian. It's about control. We were never in control. We were just players in their game, and I'm done playing." Adrian had one choice. He could reveal what he knew, expose Project Helix, and risk the collapse of everything. Or he could walk away, leaving the truth hidden forever. But as the jet took off into the night sky, Adrian realized the terrible reality. Some truths are too dangerous to reveal, and some people, like Eleanor Bishop, are willing to vanish to ensure they stay hidden forever. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next video.